Hi, I'm Wyatt Dillard, and this is a short presentation for the Modern History class taught by Katie Dillard. Our talk for today is, in light of the past, is it good or even healthy to speculate about the future? So, as one of the great leaders of World War II, Winston Churchill once said, "It is always wise to look ahead." I can agree with Mr. Churchill that you need to look forwards when you're driving down the road of life. Looking to the future is considered an important part of life by many people, but one must think, what is the purpose of speculating about the future? The answer is to prepare for it. What we believe about the past defines our present lives, and how we act in the present will change what happens in our future. We must speculate about the future so that we can prepare for it. Early in the Second World War, both France and Britain knew that an attack on France was imminent. What France did was they built a gigantic wall filled with fortifications, pillboxes, and even retractable gun turrets. They called it the Maginot Line. France was expecting a repeat or a rerun of the Great War, and they chose to rely on outdated tactics to see them through another World War. They thought that merely refreshing and updating the system would take the Germans off guard. Turns out that Germany chose to bypass the Maginot Line and go through the Ardennes forest. The Nazis went straight through Belgium and straight past the weak defenses constructed to the side of the line, and it didn't look too pretty. While the French were confident that the Maginot Line would make up for a weak air force and a field army, the Nazis had already innovated in their post-Versailles location. The problem with this picture is that France did not look into the future. They did not speculate, and they paid for it. It took merely 6 weeks for the Germans to completely overrun France, and that's just over a month. So if your view of history is accurate, then you can use the past to prepare for the future. Our view of history turns out, the only thing that can prepare us for our future. It defines our present. What we believe about the past defines our present, and how we act in the present will change what happens in our future. If we choose not to look into the past, and then we only have the present to look for. This is the infinitely confined mission of time, where the future passes into the past, the present, the very tiny amount of space that we have. With this in mind, it's pretty much impossible not to look into the past. It's only a question of how far into the past we want to look. This means that we must speculate about the future, what may happen that we can prepare for. If you see a glass of water about to fall off a table, what do? Well, you do several things. You remember what happens when a full glass of water hits the floor. It's not too good. Second, you extrapolate that event to this circumstance, making the connection that bad things will happen if you let the glass of water hit the floor. Then, using that knowledge from the past, you prepare for the future, as in running up and grabbing the glass or getting away. What you've just done is make use of the past so that you can prepare for the future. The important thing to remember is that you could not have done any of this without speculating about the future. It is a vital part of this process. The same process must be repeated many times a day for your life to work properly. And sometimes we have to use this to prepare for bigger events than just a glass of water falling through space. We must continue to speculate about the future. We must drive down life's highway, looking forwards and figuring out what to do next. In the present, time is not our friend, and we cannot be caught off guard, and we must prepare for the future. Thank you.